Welcome back to CNBC Africa, first in business worldwide. I'm Bruce Whitfield. You're watching Share Shootout, and our very well-mannered guests this evening, Sasha Narishkin from Vestact and Nick Norman-Smith from Lentis Asset Management. Before the break, Nick and Sasha each gave us two of their stock picks. We got from Sasha, Foschini and Mixed Telematics. Foschini, a tentative thumbs up. Mixed Telematics was laughed out of town. It wasn't even shot down. And then Nick Norman-Smith from Lentis Asset Management, his short on Naspers was scoffed at by Sasha Narishkin. Anyway, HCI, Hosken Consolidated Investments, that one got the big thumbs up. It is a very, it's a nice growth company, trading on a multiple of 15 times. So, Nick Norman-Smith, I like your third pick this evening, but Sasha Narishkin from Vestact, I'd like to go for your third pick first, if I may. I thought the new management team at this company was doing a good job. I thought the Times Media had legs to run. I thought the sale of assets, including, I was told secretly last week while on holiday, Exclusive Books has been sold. It just hasn't been announced yet. Have we done that? There we go. Exclusive Books may have been sold already. Other assets within the Times Media group have been sold. Why are you shorting Times Media in 3?
Yeah, Bruce, because I think it's not a growth business, but it's trading on a growth business multiple. You know, we're talking about businesses that are struggling to grow revenues. Newspaper ad revenues in the US are at an all-time low since they're being measured. So I think we follow in those sort of trends. Now, I don't like newspapers. I don't particularly like CDs or DVDs or even films for that matter. We're moving towards the digital world. So I don't care how you restructure, it's going to be tough.
Okay, less than 30 seconds. Well done. There was that fabulous joke when Jeff Bezos went and bought the Washington Post. His wife told him to pick up the Washington Post on the way home, and he misread her.
But that was 1% of his assets. Eh?
Just 1%. I mean, so Jeff Bezos is buying the Washington Post. The crazy old man in Omaha is buying all the newspapers he can lay his hands on, community newspapers and all that sort of thing, and you don't like newspapers.
I told you the valuation.
Yes, the valuation, 37 times last year's earnings, but last year's earnings were massively depressed. How can you not like Times Media?
Yeah, look, they're turning things around. They're stripping out a lot of the legacy costs, building up the digital platform, launching a couple other channels that won't.
Don't talk about that.
And you know,
they don't exist
exactly, and getting their website up and running, and you know, just trying to sort of shuffle things around. So look, it'll be tough to see where it all comes out. I don't know if I would definitely be uber long it. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right that valuation it's not really, you can't really look at last year's earnings. So I'd be a bit nervous to be short it. You never know what Blackstar and the gentleman can get up to.
I just look at what private equity investors do when they go into companies and they do extract the value. And what? Explain to me why you don't believe that Blackstar is going to make money out of this thing.
I don't believe anyone can, to be perfectly honest. I think we're living in a world where digital is key, and are they the right people to be able to do it? There was big pushback on the TV thing with another television station, which we won't talk about.
No.
That shan't be named.
Yes, yeah. Huge pushback.
So that wasn't exactly a success.
It lasted 2 weeks.
Well, it lasted 2 weeks, yeah. So we had to find the ashes or whatever else that was on in between. But that's the point I'm trying to make. If you've got a public who are used to, I have no problem paying for the Wall Street Journal. I really do. I've got no problem paying for the FT.
But you don't want to pay for Business Day.
I love the people there, I love the journalists, but to be perfectly honest, I haven't had a newspaper subscription for 8-9 years.
Okay, cool.
You know, there's actually much less competition for financial news in the country. So to have some of these strong brands, which they do have, I think people will pay. I think it's a lot easier to find the same information free overseas because there's so many competitors out there. Much less here.
I worry about the paywall thing on Business Day. I don't know how many people have subscribed to it. I don't know how many people are prepared to pay for that digital content, that exclusive content. Content is massively expensive to produce. I don't know if I'm prepared to short it. I don't know if I'd be prepared to go long it either. Yeah. But his pick is a short.
I'd go neutral, so I'd shoot down the short.
You have to shoot down the short. Oh, that's such an easy cop out. I know, but it's a cop out. Oh, that counts against him. Black market against him. Right, Nick Norman-Smith, your final pick is one of his all-time favorites. I think they've sold out of all of their Impala shares. It's a fraction of the size it once used to be. It still digs holes in the ground and extracts expensive platinum. Please tell me why you like Impala so much.
It's the second largest company in the world that extracts platinum, which is a fantastic metal with a lot of industrial uses. It's a very depressed sector at the moment, pushing the share price of Impala down to nearly record lows. That's even after the 30 to 40% rally we've seen in the last few weeks. It still looks attractive. It's just over book value. PE is not relevant given the depressed nature of the sector. There's nowhere else to get platinum unless you really think you can substitute it with something else overnight. People are going to be driving cars and watching TVs and doing what they do every day.
But you guys were big fans of Impala, $200 a share. I remember very clearly. We were long at $200 a share. It started falling, and you sold out. Do you buy in at the bottom?
Between 170, 180, some a bit lower. I think the biggest problem here is with recycling. There's actually a lot more metal in the market than people perhaps initially thought. As much as 2 million ounces per annum. Nick's point is great. You can't substitute. You look at the periodic table. I know you were paying attention in chemistry.
You still buy the story, though. You still buy the story.
Buy the platinum story.
Yeah, you buy the platinum story, but you won't buy the share story.
Yeah, I'm worried, and in Afrikaans there's a word, a kyk I'm worried we're watching a kyk of the gold miners. So that's what Sunday evening leftovers. And I don't think it will come true because they're price makers. They're not price takers. I just don't have enough conviction to be able to say to myself, okay, go long here because everything's seemingly sorted. There's that dreaded, horrible Citigroup report which said that South Africa's assets in the ground are worth, $2.5 trillion. Yeah. Remember that from a few years ago? Horrible, horrible report. Wish they'd never released it. But I think the point is well made. The reserves are there. It's whether or not you can extract them profitably. And as a shareholder allocating capital, I don't know if I want to be in this industry.
Nick, but this is the key, and this is very important why platinum is different to gold, is that you can get gold anywhere else. So quite frankly, if it costs too much to bring our gold up, no one's going to buy it because it's, no miners are going to produce and they'll buy it somewhere else. There's nowhere else to get platinum. So if the cost of platinum, of producing and extracting platinum goes up, either we'll shut down production, which will supply demand, push the price up.
But can we really shut down production? Because just this week, finally, Anglo-American Platinum, 9 months after saying it needed to get rid of 15,000 people, managed to get rid of 3,000.
It's going to take a bit of time because of the government intervention, but we have seen some of the smaller, marginal players shutting down some shafts. So yes, ideally, without the government intervention, probably would have re-rated a lot quicker. But still, you can't force people to carry on producing at a loss forever. So they're going to have to play the political game, but eventually...
Last word to Sasha on this one.
Except a few in Venezuela, which I don't think we'll ever get there. Maybe the people north of our border will get there quicker. But no, in the interests of this game, I have to shoot it down.
But okay, let's pretend we're in the real world. Do you buy Impala Platinum?
Too many uncertainties.
So in the real world and for this game, you shoot it down.
And uncertainty provides opportunity. That's why it's trading at just over book.
There we go. Oof, actually, my decision. What I've got with Nick Norman-Smith from Lentis Asset Management is a short on Naspers, shot down. HCI, big thumbs up. Nice and long on Naspers, no problem at all. Impala Platinum, one-time Sasha favorite, being shot down on the basis that we've got all of this recycled platinum which is sitting above the ground, and it's a concern of the platinum producers themselves. Government intervention is another issue as well. Is it possible that Impala Platinum will continue on its meteoric rise with platinum over $1,500 an ounce? I wonder. Then Sasha Narishkin from Vestact, Foschini, going long on Foschini. Nick Norman-Smith likes Foschini enough to give it a thumbs up. Mixed Telematics laughs at in your face and wouldn't go short on Times Media. I've now got to make a pick. And I've got to decide who between you is the winner. Producers, I can't decide. Producers. Okay, my producers have instructed me. Nick Norman-Smith, Sasha Narishkin, only one of you can stay. I would call it a tie. But my producers say, Nick Norman-Smith, I'm afraid you have to go. My producers are more fickle than I. If you think they made the right decision, then do send me a tweet on @BruceBusiness on Twitter.com. So well done to Sasha Narishkin, who is our stock picking Royale finalist this evening here on CNBC Africa, and he'll join us again next Tuesday on the most vicious stock picking show on TV. Please let me know if my producers made the right decision tonight, or was I right to call it a tie? We've never had a tie on the show before, but my producers are more vicious than I. That even rhymed. Tweet me your share shootout suggestions and your thoughts @BruceBusiness. Until next time, when we continue to pick out winners and shoot out the rest without any mercy whatsoever. Good night.